Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card, Leo, is number 13. It says false beliefs. Further down it says, once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways we can release the false limitations they confine us to. So there is an owl which is sitting on this lady's armor or shoulder or hand. Further down it says revelation, liberation, and self-actualization. So I feel, Leos, this is just a deep moment where you have the clarity, where you recognize a lot of things, that you have probably, imposed on your own self, that are probably holding you back from doing whatever you wanted to do. And I feel that once we're aware of the false beliefs that we have, the false truths that we tell ourselves, this is a moment which is empowering you to disintegrate those, to dismantle those untruths that you have been telling yourself. With that, what happens is you open up yourself to newer directions, to newer ways, newer belief system, newer, if this is regards to a career, then this is new growth, which will happen once you dismantle those untruths. This is a moment where you gain the confidence to pursue things that you have been holding back from. So a very, a very good moment where you recognize what you're capable of and you step into that new reality that you want to create for yourself. And you drop all of those misconceptions, the false truths that you have been holding on to or that you have been telling yourself. This is the air element which is associated with this energy. It's all about thought. It's about using your intelligence. There is an owl in this. But intelligence in the way that it highlights for us the truth about ourselves, about our environment. And getting to this point is a very, I would say, a very intellectual thing to do. Because it requires clarity. It requires the thought to look into the newfound clarity. And it also gives you the strength, the confidence, and the capabilities to express yourself, to say out loud what is real versus what is imagined, what is just perceived, So now balancing ourselves, the chi and the energy in ourselves is also very essential because the life force within us that circulates within us is very important to have the clarity of mind, to focus on good thoughts. I mean, it's good for the overall health as well, but we should not underestimate the power of good energy, balanced energy that influences our thoughts, the ideas that come to us. Now, I do feel that some of you are holding on to some kind of rigid thoughts and, maybe ideas. It could be ungated ideas. The world is evolving. Trends are changing. The way we do life is changing. So maybe you're holding on to things and ideas which are very old. Something that you're not recognizing yourself. Maybe you're just telling yourself you're not capable of this, that, and the third. Or you're not worthy of it. But these are all false. So, this is a moment where all of those rigid thoughts and ideas, we can let go of that. We can release those outdated beliefs that we have. So I do feel that this is an invitation for you, Leos, to sit with yourself and see where are you limiting yourself. Especially if you are in companies, in corporate, are you holding back from any kind of leadership opportunities, or are you holding yourself back from any creative pursuits that you can actually create for yourself? It's just, maybe it could be a side gig, maybe it's creative vision in your corporate job itself. So any negative thoughts that or talks that you have been thinking or saying to yourself, this is that moment for you to flip that. Let me tell you, we all know how powerful the human mind is. And, while studying psychology, there's so many evidences that psychologists have shown that if we feed ourselves some false narratives and false beliefs, it can significantly impact and change our current day situations. It can change our reality. Just like, we all have heard and read about the placebo effect. That's what this is. So, our thoughts, whatever we feed to our mind, is what creates our reality. So that's why it's very important that you consciously identify those false beliefs and get to releasing them. And then, you can shift up your reality. Now, this can play out in your own personal life or in your environment around you. Even globally, this could be playing out. And I'm seeing that, a lot of cities or countries, they are diversifying their industries, the money-making industries. A lot of countries or companies. Sorry about that noise. Yeah, so I was talking of diversifying. So you'll probably see a lot of people, companies, or individuals diversifying the way they make income or their side hustles and things like that. Or you could be doing that. Or somebody in your family and neighborhood could be doing it. So something about diversifying, realizing that money can be made in a different way, or some items, if you're a product owner, you create some product, you realize that, a product can be made differently and you make those changes and it does better job. So now, some of you could be, wanting to go in for some personal development, upskilling, some kind of workshops, some kind of maybe you're journaling, writing, to see what are those limiting beliefs, about yourself or about your capabilities or your creative abilities, whatever that is. And I feel that some of you can also be working for some kind of social cause, in the society or in the corporate or something like that, where you are trying to dismantle those false beliefs about how, things should be, how things operate, the market trends, the products that are doing well, or some kind of stereotypes. Maybe you're trying to dismantle those ideas. If you've seen the Truman Show, which I think is a perfect example of this, there's a character in that, his name is Truman Burbank, and I've mentioned this before as well. His entire reality in that movie is all built on a false belief system, and that movie, if you see it, or if you've seen it, you would really enjoy it. It's all about how he discovers the truths about himself and other things and how he breaks free from his past generation. It's a great movie. So see that movie if you want to learn a thing or two or take a thing or two in regards to this energy. You can also listen to the song, which I really love, Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten. It's a beautiful song. The name of the song is Unwritten. I really like Natasha Bedingfield. I even liked her song, Pocket Full of Sunshine. But you can listen to that. Sunshine is your energy as well, Leos, because you rule by the sun. So you can listen to both of those songs, and I'm sure you'll imbibe positive energies in regards to, shifting your realities and to new beginnings. So it's time for you to make those new starts. If you're thinking that you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough to do a certain thing or to pursue a certain career, I feel that, and I've heard this in the past from a lot of people, that they don't think they can do anything good or they cannot excel in a certain field. And then later on, when they practice, they put in the work, they realize that it was just a false narrative. So anything that you believe is not possible, I think with this energy, you will realize that it is possible. Even the WHO, the World Health Organization, I had read, I have read so many times that they keep releasing new data, about certain diseases, how it works, and false beliefs about how it spreads, so that the public health departments can actually work around that data. They can change up their strategies on how to handle diseases and things like that. So WHO keeps debunking old beliefs and myths about a lot of diseases. And we've seen a lot of even in like I've seen one of my friends was telling me about how their town was kind of they were haunted by some kind of a animal, and they couldn't tell what was creating that creating the destruction around a certain, I think it was a neighborhood, a park or something like that. And then they realized, later on after some investigation that it was just a beaver who was creating that mess. And they thought, who's coming up and doing this thing. So it's just a matter of perception, and, things change up and really fast. And I feel that we do this to ourselves all the time. Like, sometimes you feel that where we live, oh, it's so small, we could have had a bigger home. But then we just realize that, we've just accumulated so much junk. And if you're able to throw that away, declutter the house, reorganize things, we feel, we realize that, the house is perfect in size. It's very spacious. We can do so much more. So it's things like that. Even Gucci has done it. Gucci keeps doing that a lot. Gucci goes in for production of its products and then figures out that, in the initial phases that there's a bad feedback or a negative feedback, or maybe they believe that it should be done a specific way, and then they learn from feedback that, the consumer doesn't want it anymore. Because our taste keeps changing, right? The people's taste, the people who buy the product, they keep changing, and the fashion brand, and everyone needs to keep up with it. So even big designers and brands keep changing the products based on market trends. So Leos, stay open-minded, and don't negatively talk to yourself about yourself. And you'll soon see that, as soon as your energy and your mindset is changing, a new set of opportunities will land for you. Well, they will start appearing out of nowhere. So shift up these small little things and watch the how. The next card you have used is the card of Scorpion. Okay, so further it says deep introspection, powerful transformation, and the courage to face and integrate your shadow self. So yeah, I mean, it's just about leaving things behind that are no longer working for you. We already saw that outdated belief system. So that's what you got to leave behind. So that, I feel that everybody fears the Scorpion, and everybody should fear the Scorpion for their things and everything. But see, this thing over here is, this thing is like, it's a 10 of Swords moment. Because it gives you an opportunity to, see things for what they are. Face the uncomfortable truths so that, you can start the process of fixing things. Or of an internal healing if that's what's needed, So when you understand what's going on in your inner world, and you get that in, because you had the air energy before. Now this is the water energy. Water energy is all about our intuition, our emotional landscape, our subconscious, and things like that. So when you have understood all of that to your intelligence, you gather emotional intelligence, which is the ability to make those changes so that you're able to navigate any kind of a situation gracefully. Air Moraka mind does that. So now, the only caveat is because there is a Scorpion here, which is a little bit scary. So we need to be mindful of how we use our power, how we use our influence. Not to sting people, not to be underhanded, but making sure that we operate with positive intentions. We operate with integrity. We operate with positive ethos so that we're trying to actually bring about some positive changes in the situation. This is not about controlling the situation or dominating the situation. So use your power effectively to bring about positive change. So the thinking of Scorpios, Scorpions, right? They are creatures from God knows which age, millions and millions of years ago, and they're practically the same. So they know how to survive so many changes that have happened in the world. Think about it. And even even their poison, the poison of the scorpion is now being studied for medicinal uses. So you see how the sting or the venom can be used positively. So to bring about positive changes is the underlying current of this energy. I've heard about a lot, for those of you that who know what I'm talking about, there are nations that are making major changes in their political arena, especially to kick out and to remove deep-seated corruption in their political scenario. And we know that from, the news, what's going on in certain parts of the globe, of the world, where things are coming to light. And now people want more transparency. People want a more fair and square society, and things are restructuring. So you will hear about a lot of old leadership going away and new practices that the people of the country and the nation or the world are able to trust back again into the policies, into the countries, having faith in those systems. So there are a lot of changes which are going on around us, and I feel it's the Scorpion energy which is playing out, at a global level. So same with you. You might be even going out there, you might be advocating for, maybe for some social reforms or exposing some, deep-seated problems in systems or inequalities, in order to bring about some meaningful, positive changes in the societies, in the communities. If you see the Silence of the Lambs movie and the character in that, I will tell you, Kairis Darling is amazing. I've seen this movie like God knows how many times. It's like how she fearlessly goes into, dives into human psyche to understand how a human psyche thinks, to bring out the truth to light, to bring justice to people. It's amazing, that movie, The Silence of the Lambs. I've seen it so many times, and see it, you'll really love it. Or you can even listen to Billie Eilish, if you like Billie Eilish, or if you haven't heard, listen to the Bad Guy. I love that song, Bad Guy. It's a very powerful, mysterious vibe to it, but if you listen to the words, I'm sure you'll take a weird thing or two in regards to the Scorpion energy. So I feel that, this thing sometimes it's necessary to fix those situations, to transform situations, and it brings out, and it also helps us think differently. It helps us wield our own personal power in good ways. Especially if you heard like the Pandora Papers, for those of you who know, or you can just read up about it. Pandora Papers, how these investigative journalism, print media, is able to expose financial crimes happening. They've done that in the past, and we're not strangers to that. So they bring about so many changes in systems, and I feel that's what's necessary. So releasing your old self by doing the inner engineering. I feel inner engineering is needed, not external. Like, you want to, change up who you are, you go get a haircut and change your wardrobe. That's not what we're talking about here. It's the internal power that can make changes, positive changes in the energy. Yes, external changes does change our energy and the way people perceive and look at us, but this is more deeper than that, right? It's the water energy, it's our emotions. So now I also feel that some of you or maybe you might be doing more investigations around situations. It's like, for example, if you are an investigator, maybe you investigate buildings, or you investigate, maybe you're a law investigator, who knows. So you might uncover certain things that you hadn't known, or the society did not know. Or if you're an inspector of some sort, meaning inspecting, maybe you're a traffic inspector, maybe you find out some flaws in the traffic system. Maybe you're a tax inspector or something, finding flaws in documents. Or maybe you're a real estate inspector finding flaws in buildings and then coming up with, a report to fix those things. It could be anything, You could be studying feedback from people and providing it to companies to meet the required changes, Even in, if you heard of Alexander McQueen, his collections are amazing, I just love it. So thought-provoking how he brings human psyche aspects into fashion. It's amazing. So Jari's brand for more insights into how deeper thoughts can also be incorporated in any area of our life, whether it's fashion, whether it's designing homes, interiors, whatever that is, some of you might also be athletes that are going through a lot of training, mental training, to how to become more stronger, how to become more, more stronger, or how to bounce back, how to evaluate situations, whether internally or externally, to bring about changes in how policies are executed in teams, or how team dynamics are affecting the psyche and the outcomes of plays. So you could be into those things as well. Some of you might be decluttering your homes to let go of things that are not really working for you. Or you might be having those difficult conversations with your team or people around you to understand what's going on. But it's a good energy to be. And when we face challenges head on, we understand situations, we're able to switch things up, we're able to change things up. So this Scorpio, and I feel this thing is just as a catalyst, it's serving as a catalyst for change, for something to change. Next news you have is the Two of Wands. This is in the reverse. For the night, it says here, recalibration and deeper introspection before action. So yeah, it's a moment of pause to see that, what are your ideas? What is your forward movement? What is your plan? Is there something that you need to refine? Maybe it's a project. You need to maybe re-strategize it. Maybe you got some new feedback, new data. You may do the survey. And things came out not as expected, so now you have to revamp things. It could be that. But the good thing is that something, comes out of it in the sense that an alternative, I feel the Two of Wands is just an alternative path. Especially in the reverse, the Two of Wands in the reverse is an alternative path that you probably did not think about before. Maybe you did not have the information. So this is a good punch, because what you had thought earlier, what you were doing earlier was not good enough or was not working. So this is going to be a more powerful forward movement with slight of changes, just like the Scorpion energy. It's all about that pause and reflecting and making a change. Because, see, the sting is about things not going in our favor. That's when we feel the sting, right? We don't feel it when things go in our favor. So, yeah, Two Wands is the fire element, which is you. You are the fixed fire element, but it's in the reverse for you. So, reverse Two of Wands is like the fire is still there, but it's not burning as bright, which is good. Because it's a controlled fire. It's a controlled one. There's a lot of companies that do controlled ones to clear away the order reed so that there is new growth, especially in the wilderness areas, So, Two of Wands in the reverse is like, be more thoughtful about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Don't do things impulsively. Don't make those sudden dramatic changes, Avoid any kind of impulsive decisions. Whether it's about your career, whether it's about anything, your side gig, your, personal life, whatever that is, don't do things impulsively. Especially if you're in the media and facing people, then things about, acting impulsively will negatively impact your public image. So if you're trying to make those changes, whether it's changing careers or changing teams or companies, do your due diligence, do the research, and consult people before you make those drastic changes. Look carefully, analyze carefully, and then eat. Don't do the opposite. Don't eat before you look. Now, number 2 over here, it's 2 is about partnerships, about balancing things. So, reverse is about finding the right kind of balance. making the best choices possible for yourself. You know, even if things are getting delayed, it's okay. This stop and pause is good for you. You know, I've heard about countries that will put on hold their major projects, you know, infrastructure projects, whether it's road or railways, because there is some environmental concern has come up. So they have to reevaluate all of that, you know, to see that is it still, you know, feasible to go forward with this. So they stop, they pause to see like what is the next long-term plan going to be? Is it sustainable? Is it doable? And things like that. Or you could be working for a startup. We could have a startup of your own to launch some kind of product. Then you're making something and you got some feedback, like I mentioned about Gucci as well. You know, there's beta testing that goes on to see what kind of feedback is coming for your product and see that you want to make some tweaks, changes to adapt to customer, consumer, news, opinions, ideas, tastes, and things like that so that you're more successful. So some of you could be refining that as well. Or if you're into creativity, maybe you have new designs, new interiors, new fashion lines, whatever that is. It could be books you're editing and re-editing in. Maybe it's stories, movies that you're creating. You could be editing, re-editing it, whatever that is, you know. Even on a smaller level, you could be changing up your plan, changing up the wall colors if you're into interiors, or changing up the appliances, or ordering things or canceling things more. Or this could also be personality development. Like I said, we've already gone over those energies are available to you for personality development. You might be taking up new courses to build some skills before you take up new careers or new roles in the companies, you know. If you've seen the Queen's Gambit and the lady in that, Beth Harmon, is amazing. You know, she's a pro at chess. And you know, in the movie, if you see there are moments where she hits the wall and she is re-evaluating her moves. And, you know, she studies her opponents so deeply before making any kind of moves forward. It's a great movie to see, the Queen's Gambit. It's amazing. Now, song enthusiasts, you can listen to Sound of Silence. It's an amazing song. It's very introspective. The theme of the song is very introspective. I love the song. The Sound of Silence, it's by Simon, and it's a it's like a rebirth, you know, with newer ideas, with introspection and seeing how you can flip things. It's a great song. Pay attention to the lyrics of The Sound of Silence. Now, some of you might be ready to quit things, but then now you're like, you know what, let me take a step out. Let me think things too. Maybe you're changing places, countries, companies. Whatever is your approach, maybe you're taking a pause. You're like, you know what, I probably didn't think this earlier. These caveats or these ideas or new data has come in. Now you have a renewed passion for it. Maybe you're going to quit it, but now you're like, you know what, I have new perspectives. I'm going to try this again. Things like that can also be happening, you know. It happens to bigger companies, so it happens to us also on a day-to-day basis, you know. ExoMars, if you've heard about ExoMars, they delay their Mars mission, Mars launches, you know. The Mars mission launches, they delayed that because of some, I think, technical challenges. Even now at our start, you know, they postponed their next lunar landing, Artemis. So because they're doing some upgrades and checks and things like that. So even bigger companies will take a pause. If they find out something sounds right, they will immediately pivot their strategies, or even restaurants do it, you know. They change up their menu items to be competition. Or it could be that if you're trying to sell a house or buy a house, you might be waiting to see, you know, what is a new offer, or is it affordable, or you know, or what kind of house you want. Maybe you're reanalyzing it because, you know, every house, every community has a vibe. So you might be like, oh, you know what, I sold out on this house, but then this thing came up. I didn't like it how it feels at night, or I didn't like it how it, you know, the storage spaces, or whatever be a reason, you know. So, or maybe if you're trying to sell your house, maybe you're like, you know what, wait, let's just make some renovations so that we get a little higher price. And things like that could be happening for you as well. Or some of you might just be taking a break. You know, maybe you're planning some vacation or a trip somewhere, and maybe there is weather changes, some weather forecast you pay attention to which you did not before, and now you're like, oh my God, it's going to rain heavily where I'm going. So I'm not going to go there because I'm going to be just sitting at home. So I want to switch up my place. So something like that can even happen to you. Or maybe you feel that if you're sending emails or writing write-ups, make sure that you read it once, twice, thrice, and make the changes that are needed. Now, further down it says, embrace the pause. In the stillness, the universe whispers its deepest truth, guiding you towards path of beauty, purpose, and profound success. And the last card for today, Leo, you have is the message from Cosmos, and it says, your life is so special and treated with loving care. Yeah, this is about, taking care of yourself, of knowing what you're capable of preserving your energy, nurturing yourself. Everybody's existence on this planet is a precious gift, you included. So, it's about how you have those healthy practices that nourish your body, mind, and spirit. Knowing that you are worthy and capable of everything that life has to offer. Now, again, this is about creating healthy foundation, strong foundation, so that, whether it's financial, whether it's social, whether it's emotional, stronger foundation, so that, we stay healthy and we stay healthy at all times. So if you are working in positions or companies where you're overworked, you're burning yourself out, or you're pushing yourself too hard, or you're neglecting your own health and care, then I feel that it's important for you to shift that narrative, take breaks, take care of your health, go for exercise, eat good, drink well, stay hydrated, take good rest, sleep well, go out there, do things that you like, so that you're well rested, so that you're healthy and happy. So it's not hard to do it. We need to know how to do it, and it's very important to have those work-life balances, to have, to take care of our emotions, to take care of our mental health, to take care of our environment. So everything needs to be taken care of with positive intentions, with care, I would say. So, and also you've seen like a lot of companies, corporates, they are having Zen areas, they're having wellness programs, they're having work arrangements that are flexible, hybrid ways of working. A lot of companies are investing into their employees, employees' well-being, making sure that their employees are cared for in the best way possible. So I feel that doing things that bring us happiness without being under the pressure of performing is very important to each one of us at any given time. So treat yourself to some spas, some gym if you wish to, or go out there, socialize, spend time with people, spend time with nature. And that's also like about, feeling healthy, feeling wealthy, our people is our wealth, our health is our wealth. And of course, the bank account is our wealth. So taking care of all of them in a good way, in a healthy way is very important. I constantly give the example of Eat, Pray, Love. That's when I go to movie, about rediscovering oneself and treating ourselves with care is very important on a day-to-day basis. So listen to the song by Louis Armstrong. It's a beautiful song. What a wonderful one. How we celebrate life. We celebrate our environment. We celebrate what the world has to offer to us, the beauty in everything, big and small, good and bad. What a wonderful world by Louis Armstrong is a very good song to bring in this energy, to enhance this energy. So don't burn yourself out if you are in the working age group. Take care of yourself. Also, if you are a business owner, also take care of yourself. Don't burn yourself out there. Be mindful of the demands, the strain that people are putting onto you, onto your time, onto your energy. And make sure that you're doing things to relax, to rest up, to nourish your mind, body, and soul. So, because these mindfulness initiatives, the meditation and all of these Zen spaces, the calm, and, because people are focusing on the calmness, on the headspace. Because, when we're in the right mind, when we're cool, calm, collected, that's when we make the right decisions. When we're mindful of how we are talking, how we're doing life. Are we stressed? Are we taking care of ourselves? And those are the things that will determine how our future shapes up in every way. And, tweaking up your environment and have that little, green space in your house. Have that little Zen space, a cozy corner where you can just go unwind, read a book or two, drink coffee, watch your favorite show, or even meditate, do whatever, in that Zen space, or go outside, walk in the greens, go in the nature, spend time by the lake, or do some sports that you're interested in. Prioritize taking care of yourself, meditation, stretching, good meals, healthy meals. There's so many recipes. Try some healthy recipes. Or, do something that that gives you an immersive experience, whether that's cooking, whether that's knitting, whether that's, anything could give you an immersive experience. So do something where it takes your mind off, I've tried the VR studios, the virtual reality studios. You get into that, you put on those glasses, and you're lost in that for like 20 minutes. You're not thinking about anything. Those kind of immersive experiences, you're watching a movie, you're not thinking about anything. You're listening to a song, you're paying attention to the lyrics. How many times do you pay attention to the lyrics, So that's mindfulness, being present with the song, listening to the song. And, that really enhances our neurons, our experience with that movie or the song or the show or anything. Gives us that satisfaction of being fully immersed. And also, because our mind is fully immersed in it, we're at peace for those moments. We're not thinking, our minds aren't drifting, we're not scattered and things like that. So, further on it says, "Dear soul, you are a unique spark of the divine, a precious star in the vast cosmos. Nurture that spark, cherish that star, and let your loving care for yourself and others radiate outwards, illuminating the world with your inherent beauty and grace." So beautiful messages here, Leo. Those were your messages and hope you enjoyed them. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.